to kind of start here. A few months ago, some of you may have heard of a little company called FTX and kind of a meltdown that happened there. Just a couple of days actually before that, somebody that we've been talking to partner up with and integrate with, they've reached out to us and they've typed in an FTX wallet address into our Web3 search software, and it's given them a bad trust score. So there was like a whole deal about that. They were kind of telling us, hey, if you can't get your false positives lower than that, I mean, even exchanges that good are being listed as bad, there's something wrong. So a few days later, kind of the whole thing's unveiled. And, at that point, we were kind of thinking, okay, was there actually a way that this could have been prevented and could have been solved? But in more broad sense, Airlius was started at the beginning of last year to enable every human to have ownership in a digital world. And kind of the problem is that, there's a very large risk of centralizations, even right now in blockchain. I mean, FTX was so centralized that kind of nobody was able to tell what was going on and all that. So there were kind of a lot of these companies that are still trying to, lessen individual rights instead of making it, widespread decentralization. So the solution is, what we are trying to do, and it's building the infrastructure for the centralized internet that enables the mass adoption. And how we plan to do it, it's basically 3 steps. First steps is to, eliminate scams. Second one is to improve user experience. And then the third one is to have a way to kind of get more people on board by creating value for blockchain technology beyond what's there right now. So yeah, the first mission is to bring 1 billion people by eliminating socially engineered crypto scams. And kind of how do we do that? We have already released our product back in August. And since then, we have done actually kind of 3 separate products. Even like first project is a trust engine, where you can type in a wallet address and it'll give you a trust score that's based on our self-learning and proprietary AI. And then we have real-time scam blocker. So let's say you go to a website where you want to, swap some crypto, or you want to, mint an NFT. We are able to make that. We're able to intercept their request. We are listening to what the web pages are requesting from a wallet. We intercept it. We tell the trust score. We tell the simulation kind of what's about to exit your wallet, what's about to enter your wallet, and we tell you kind of. We give you options to whether you want to still continue or reject if it's a low trust score and shows a bad simulation thing. And then the last part kind of that we've built are the wallet profiles. And the reason that we did this is that a lot of people do not care about security until it's too late. Kind of once it happens, once all of their assets are stolen, that's kind of when they start thinking about it. So we were thinking of a way to make like a fun trust ecosystem, and that's kind of how profiles came to be. You're not onboarded directly to an extension, but rather, you create a profile, you're able to showcase your NFTs, you're able to showcase kind of what you do in crypto, your gains and all of that. And then you get interested into this extension when, the trust is built and you install it as well. And kind of that's the way that we grew from 0 to 3,300 users in 4 months. And kind of we have strategic funnel for that. The profiles are getting like a really low cost of acquisition for people to come in, and a lot of them from kind of our research, 20% downloaded the extension the same day, and then 40% downloaded in the next week. So the funnel is kind of pretty strong. Once people learn kind of how useful the trust score is, they then go ahead and install the extension that keeps them protected. Now, how do we do it is what we'd like to call know your wallet technology. And that solution is kind of our IP proprietary algorithm that allows segmentation, groupings, and trust scoring the wallet. So kind of from March of last year till the August, most of the things that we were doing were not related to extension or a web app. They were actually related to building the data and labeling it. And we've labeled over 300,000 Ethereum wallet addresses right now, out of which like 60,000 are scams. And from there, we were able to, like I said, build a model that kind of pattern matches what happens there to any wallet out there. And they are able like to cluster and to group them based on kind of their behavior. And yeah, how we kind of like to, explain how the trust score, like why our trust score are better than just something else. So we kind of say blacklist, whitelist, or like a baseball bat. If you see a person in your apartment doing something shady and they don't see you first, you can hit them with a bat. So that's kind of also how blacklist and whitelist works. If you know of somebody, if you know that something is a scam or it's not a scam, and you land on that, you're able to protect yourself. And then transaction simulation is kind of like a video doorbell where you can see what's about to happen in front of your door, but you don't know kind of what's happening in the back. But the AI is kind of the full defense that is not maybe 100% correct, but it saves 80% more scams than any other solution out there. And our competition right now is kind of mostly on the B2C side, and most of them have either blacklist, whitelist, or simulation. Some have both blacklist, whitelist, and simulation, but none of them have this kind of a pattern matching solution that's able to detect, even some of these most sophisticated scams out there. And we are even more kind of leaning on B2B right now, because our KYW messaging has been, really resonating with some big companies. We have just, this week lined up meetings with Ledger, with Immutable X, with some of the, well-known companies in the space. And yeah, that's kind of how our B2B monetization goes. We're charging, between 500 a month, and it can go to basically really, really large number for huge enterprises and financial, companies. So that's kind of, this is our like 3 notable integrations, and that's where we are getting a lot of users. Mises browsers being the bigger one. They're right now integrating for their 300,000 users, Blockm2B interception and protection layer on every transaction that happens on their browser. And that way we are, reaching a huge audience. Our goal in 2023 is to, land a bunch of paid integrations, and also like user integrations for our brand that are more, towards NFT projects and other types of, smaller projects in crypto. Founders, Tristan, he has had a marketing agency before this, and that he has got into, 8-figure business. For me, I've done AI research for 7 years and total like 10 years in software industry. Both of us kind of, complement each other really well. I also have a team in Serbia, basically of 10 people who are like, we are accomplishing with 20K burn. So with a burn of 1 Silicon Valley engineer, we have like 10 people on board accomplishing a whole bunch. And that's kind of what allowed us.
Thanks so much, Alexa. We've got to wrap up soon.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, thank you. I'll just have the judges on, and then we can start the Q&A.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the pitch. Also pretty clear what you're doing, and definitely something that you need in Web3. But it's also very, very complex to do what you're doing, because there's so many types of scams. Mainly you have a thing which is a big problem, which is false positives. So because of many types of scams, you could say something is fine, but maybe it's not fine. And I don't want to get into too much detail here, because we could speak about this for an hour, but just in 1 minute, how do you do to ensure that any sort of a scam is covered? For instance, let's say that there's a new NFT project that comes out that nobody knows, new wallets and everything. How can you know if that is a scam or it's not?
Yeah, kind of the information about it being a new wallet is also an information, and that's kind of, that has been, putting off a lot of people. We are giving that information to them, saying, hey, this is a new wallet, it's kind of a risky. And then, we also look at the transaction simulator. So we are telling, hey, you're not going to lose 0.5 ETH. You're going to be spending 0.5 ETH to get 1 NFT. On the other hand, also, we are able to track some of the off-chain data. For example, kind of how Twitter followers, Discord users, and all of that have been going on. So we can even detect rug pulls at some percentage right now. So there have been like much more instances where we have said something is a scam that it's not, than it has been that we have missed a scam, because we have tuned our hyperparameters to detect every possible scam, basically. And we would much rather a project reach out to us and tell, hey guys, what's here, we're looking to the model, to, you know,
I think we lost you for a second there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So yeah, just to repeat maybe the last part. So yeah, we have like tuned our parameters to detect all types of scams instead of missing. You know, even if it means maybe sometimes telling something is a scam, it's not. So that's why we have you know, an option for projects to reach out to us and tell us if we've done wrong. And we've started with, you know, 87% accuracy in August. Right now we are all the way up to 98. So kind of the more projects get back to us, the better the AI gets. And at some point, it's going to be like 99.999, which is, you know, where we're planning to be at.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think the question from Louis was very, I had a similar question in mind, because I think this is like an ongoing problem. You always have to be a little faster than the scammers. So I think your product is never finalized, never finished, because you always have to speed up and you always have to be faster. So I'm always a little cautious about putting new extensions on my laptop, on my PC, and especially if it comes to crypto or blockchain. So yeah, why should I trust you? And how do I know what kind of data you store and save? And so, yeah, what's your answer on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So just kind of a little note before that, extension isn't our main kind of monetization way. We're monetizing through our API on the B2B side, but the extension is something kind of where we, you know, push our brand. So the way that it is that, you know, Google, we always explain in Google has always looks at what kind of permission are you asking for and what's kind of sandboxed. So we have to disclose what kind of permission we are asking for our extension. And then also we're not requiring a wallet connection at all. We're looking at just what web pages are kind of requesting on their layer. So the problem has been with trust in the beginning. The more we kind of get users, the more we get the following on social media, it has been becoming less and less of a trust issue, because people can kind of already getting from the word of mouth, hearing that they have helped. You know, we have actually helped right now over 1.2 million being saved from the users that are using our product.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.